There's certainly a number of different funding sources that we've identified that we can use, that we can couple with the money that would be given through congressional appropriations that would help us get to that $5 billion that the president needs in order to protect our borders.
So you're exploring this, and you think legally you could do it?
Absolutely.
Welcome back. Did you hear that? It sure sounds like the White House is giving up on getting $5 billion for a border wall in the year-end spending bill. It's a far cry from the president saying he'd be proud to shut down the government to get the money for the border wall. But with a shutdown 3 days away, are we inching any closer to an actual deal? Democrats already rejected the latest Republican offer, calling it $1 billion slush fund for the president. Yet Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is still sounding confident that they're close to a solution.
To put a finer point on, are you convinced that we will not shut down?
Yeah, I am.
For what it's worth, 3 senators are telling us that they think they're going to get a continuing resolution, the old CR. Watch out for some Washington speak. It's coming to a news division near you. With me now is the Senate Minority Whip, Dick Durbin. Senator Durbin, Democrat from Illinois. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be with you, Chuck.
So, bottom line, the White House gave up on their ask for $5 billion. Does this mean shutdown averted?
Well, I hope so. We haven't quite reached that point yet. We at least have a conversation underway. Last week it was a standoff, and the president proud to shut down the government, something I've never heard a president say. And now we have this week a hint of conversation. We're not there yet.
Let me play for you something that Sarah Sanders said today at the very brief White House briefing that she held about paying for the wall. Take a listen.
The president has been clear that the USMCA deal would provide additional revenue through that deal that would show that Mexico is paying for the wall.
The Treasury, though. The trade benefits, if there are any, don't go to the Treasury.
He's saying that the revenue provided and the money that would be saved through the USMCA deal, we could pay for the wall 4 times over. And by doing that new trade deal, we have the opportunity to pay for the wall.
All right, Senator Durbin, here's the part of this that I'm trying to understand. Are we building the wall or not?
We're building barriers on the border that the experts tell us are needed, and virtually none of them want a solid wall that the president's asked for. They want physical barriers they can see through. We're putting more technology on the border, more people on the border, things that will be effective in keeping America safe.
The president has implied his wall is also being built right now. How would you characterize that fact?
Well, I would disagree with the president. His wall, as I understood it, to be paid for by Mexico, incidentally, was a wall in the medieval sense, a big old concrete wall into the heavens. And I don't know how he was going to accomplish that, but that's what he said in the campaign. That's what we returned to. But those walls, by and large, are always subject to tunnels and ladders. And so the experts have told us there's a better way to keep America safe. Why is the president stuck on a 19th century solution to a 21st century challenge?
Do you believe we're providing enough money, or would you be open to providing more money for border security?
I think we should provide more, but let's be specific. Right now, fewer than 1 out of 5 vehicles coming into the United States, cars and trucks, are being scanned, something called a Z portal. When I asked the people who are the experts, I said, why aren't we doing more? Well, we need $300 million so that we scan more of these vehicles so we can detect firearms, we can detect narcotics, we can detect smuggling or kidnapping that's going on there. $300 million. Well, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of Democrats who would join in spending that kind of money. That's a sensible investment in border security, not some 2,000-mile wall.
There is actually one decent, it seems like, bipartisan agreement that's happening here. And I guess I'm going to ask because I'm still not sure it's actually going to pass. Criminal justice reform. There seems to be more confidence today and this week that this is going to pass before the end of the year. Why do you have that confidence?
Well, there are 3 amendments that we face from Senator Cotton. And I will tell you, 2 of those amendments have been discredited. The crime victims groups have come forward and said, vote against it. If Cotton tells you he's helping victims of crime, he's not. So with that kind of opposition, 2 of those amendments are stumbling at this point. The 3rd, I believe we have the votes to defeat as well. It's critically important we do. Everybody from top to bottom, Democrats, Republicans who want this bill, have characterized this Cotton Amendment as a poison pill. It's not going to help us reach our goal of real prison reform.
What should the public take away from the fact that despite all of the rough language that many use about each other these days, Democrats about the president about Democrats, that you guys did get this agreement. Should we take away from this that you guys can compartmentalize some of this stuff, or is this just a happy coincidence that probably won't be repeated in 2019?
I think it can be repeated many times over. And I'll tell you, Chuck Grassley, Mike Lee, Cory Booker, and Durbin are an unlikely team politically. But we brought together support from police and prosecutors and the American Civil Liberties Union. It can be done if you're patient and respectful, you have a good goal that serves this country, and you're willing to work at it. It's taken us 5 years. This is not an overnight venture,
Right.
But I think we can get it done.
What should the Trump White House take away from this? What should Jared Kushner take away from this experience?
Kushner has been a very important partner in this. From the start, because of his own family experience, he's wanted prison reform. I've worked with him for over a year and a half. He's been a good faith partner in this effort. He's helped in many, many ways, particularly in lining up Republican support. So I find him a go-to person when it comes to substantive legislative challenge.
So does this mean that's a conduit for you going forward? I mean, you would go if there's. Do you believe that Jared Kushner is the key, for instance, to getting your Gang of Eight bill revitalized on immigration?
I don't know the answer to that. I wouldn't presume it. We have really focused all of our work together on this criminal justice issue. We have not gone too far afield. There are so many things we could consider. But I can tell you in this instance, he went into his father-in-law and convinced him to have a press conference to endorse this bill. It was a significant move forward on the Republican side of the aisle.
Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat from Illinois, shutdown and criminal justice reform. Thanks for coming on, sharing your views, sir. Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.